We all knew how this story ended. The plans would be stolen, Cassian would die, and yet, somehow, Andor made it feel new again.
If it goes up in flames, it will burn very brightly.
Andor isn't just another good Star Wars show. It's a revolution in how Star Wars tells stories. Today I'm breaking down 5 reasons why Andor didn't just impress fans, it changed Star Wars forever. Most prequels rely on action to distract you from the fact that you already know the outcome. Andor did the opposite. Instead of trying to surprise you, it focused on why the ending mattered. You already knew that Cassian would join the rebellion and die on Scarif, but you didn't know what broke him, or even what built him, or what he lost along the way. We watched his evolution from a cynical survivor to someone willing to die for an idea. And he wasn't alone. We saw Mon Mothma forced to sacrifice her family's safety, Kino Aloy becoming a leader in the most hopeless of places, and Luthen Rael, a man who gave everything for a rebellion he'll never be thanked for. These were not placeholders, these were complicated people, and through them we saw that the rebellion wasn't born of strategy. It was born of pain, fear, sacrifice, and desperation. And that's a very different Star Wars than what we're used to. Star Wars has always had iconic villains, but rarely has it had human ones. Andor changed that by giving us antagonists who weren't driven by evil for evil's sake. Dedra Meero wasn't a mustache-twirling cartoon. She was ambitious, competent, and frightening because she believed she was doing her job. She wasn't trying to crush hope. She was trying to restore order. Cyril Karn might be the most unsettling villain of all of them, precisely because he doesn't see himself as a villain. He's a man so desperate to matter that he chases authority into obsession. He's what happens when people believe systems more than they believe people. And that's what made it scarier. The villains in Andor weren't born evil, they were molded by the Empire. Just like real-world regimes mold ordinary people into enforcers. That moral ambiguity, that's new for Star Wars, and it's really powerful. Let's be honest. For years, stormtroopers have been a joke. They miss every shot, knock themselves out on door frames. Remember that scene from The Mandalorian Season 1? Where that stormtrooper couldn't shoot a can on the ground. Genius work, by the way, from Jason Sudeikis. But in Andor, stormtroopers weren't comic relief. They were terrifying. The riot in Ferrix and the massacre in Gorman didn't feel like a video game cutscene. It felt like a crackdown. The blasters felt louder. The fear felt real. The visual language changed too. The way stormtroopers were filmed, static, looming, faceless, made them feel like ghosts of fascism. You felt their weight in every scene. You didn't laugh at them anymore. You feared what they represented. And this shift isn't just aesthetic. It recalibrates the entire balance of power in the galaxy. When the bad guys stop being bumbling, the stakes go up, and the rebellion suddenly matters more. Star Wars has always borrowed from history. Empires, resistance fighters, political corruption. But Andor was different. This time the parallels weren't window dressing. They were woven into the story. The prison arc draws from forced labor systems throughout history, from Stalin's gulags to modern industrial exploitation. The dinner party scenes, yes, even the quiet ones, echo the paranoia of Cold War surveillance states. And the Empire's bureaucracy, the way it operates through meetings, dehumanizing language, and quiet escalations that pull directly from real-world regimes. Luthen's speech to Lani, that wasn't just Star Wars drama, it was resistance poetry. It echoed the anguish of people who've given everything and have nothing left to give but hope for a better world. By grounding its story in real history, Andor made the Star Wars universe feel closer and more urgent than ever before. For years, Star Wars has been defined by lightsabers, legacy, characters, and nostalgia. But Andor dared to do more than that. No Jedi, no Skywalker, no Force, and it was brilliant. Why? Because it told a story about ordinary people who did extraordinary things. It proved that this galaxy doesn't need chosen ones to be interesting. It also gave voice to people who had never had a place in the saga before. Prisoners, laborers, broken men, grieving daughters, people whose stories don't make the legends, but shape the world just the same. That kind of storytelling expands the galaxy. It diversifies the mythos. It gives us new lenses. And if Star Wars continues in this direction, it doesn't just get bigger, it gets richer. Andor didn't just fill in a backstory. It built a bridge between fantasy and history, between legend and reality. It made Star Wars deeper, smarter, and more grown up. And if we let it, it might just be the beginning of a whole new era of storytelling in this galaxy. But what do you think? Did Andor change Star Wars for you, or was it just a great side story? Drop a comment and let's talk Rebellion. We'll see you next time.